Meet Suho. He's a brilliant lawyer and sharp in court, but when it comes to his personal life, let's just say his old father never lets him forget he's still single. The old man constantly hands him photos and phone numbers of women he could meet, but Suho isn't interested in blind dates or marriage. He doesn't make enough money to afford a family. Now, whether that's true or just a cover-up to avoid awkward dinners, who knows? But one thing is clear. Suho is dedicated to his career, even if it means his dad won't stop teasing him about being a senior bachelor. Meanwhile, in another corner of the city, we meet Jiwoo. She's a young girl on the autism spectrum, and while that comes with its challenges, it also gives her something extraordinary, a photographic memory. At school, she can read something once and repeat it word for word. But this gift also comes with heightened sensitivity. Her ears catch sounds other people would ignore, and that's exactly how she gets caught up in something that will change everything. One evening, Jiwoo hears a loud, agitated argument from the house next door. Because of her condition, sounds are amplified for her, so this fight feels like it's happening right in her living room. Curious, she goes to the window and peeks inside the neighbor's house. What she sees shakes her to the core, a man struggling with a plastic bag tied around his head. And eventually, she witnesses his death. She screams hysterically until her parents rush to calm her down. What she doesn't realize yet is that her testimony could decide the fate of a murder case. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories like this. At this time, Suho is still fairly new at his law firm. He gets all the cases no one else wants to touch. Pro bono, low paying, high stress. Basically, the cases where if you win, no one cares. His latest assignment? The murder case that Jiwoo just witnessed. Since her credibility could be challenged by anyone willing to exploit her condition, Suho goes to meet the accused, a housemaid who worked for the victim. The woman insists she's innocent. She explains that she heard strange noises that night and rushed to check on her employer. When she arrived, she saw him with a plastic bag over his head. She tried to help, but according to her, he fought back, clutching the bag as if he didn't want her to pull it off. Since she couldn't rip through the plastic, she ran to find something sharp to cut it open. But by the time she returned, it was too late. He was dead. She cries, begs Suho to believe her, and swears she's innocent. On the surface, it almost sounds convincing. Suho watches the interrogation tape for the case, but feels like something's off. To dig deeper, he tries to question Jiwoo directly, but her mother refuses to let him near her daughter. Not ready to give up, Suho visits a psychologist and asks her professional opinion about the interrogation video. The psychologist explains that Jiwoo is highly intelligent but struggles with focus and concentration. During the pre-trial, Suho pushes the judge to allow Jiwoo to testify in person. The prosecutor resists, arguing that forcing an autistic child to testify could be harmful. But since Jiwoo is the only witness, the judge agrees with Suho. She will have to take the stand. That decision sets the stage for a brutal courtroom showdown. Realizing he has to build trust with Jiwoo, Suho asks the psychologist how he can connect with her. When he tries to approach Jiwoo outside her school, she ignores him completely. It's her friend who gives him the real clue. Jiwoo loves puzzles and quizzes. If he wants her attention, he needs to speak her language. In the first court hearing, the defense team hits hard. They argue that the victim wasn't murdered at all. He committed suicide. They present evidence that butane gas was found in the bag and even show CCTV footage of the victim buying it himself. With that, they plant the seed of doubt. Suho, meanwhile, tries to get closer to Jiwoo. He buys her puzzles, hoping it'll help them bond, but she doesn't bite. When he invites her and her friend out for snacks, things seem slightly better, until they bump into the prosecutor and Jiwoo's mother at the gate, both of whom blocks Suho from questioning her. That night, though, something changes. Jiwoo sends Suho a puzzle directly to his phone. From then on, they begin a routine. Every evening, he sends her a puzzle, and she solves it. Slowly, trust begins to form. But the world isn't always kind to Jiwoo. Suho finds her being bullied by a girl she considered her best friend. The bully tries to humiliate her, even going as far as physically hitting her. Suho steps in, protects Jiwoo, and tells her the hard truth, that someone who treats her like that isn't really a friend. Jiwoo insists the girl is still her friend, showing just how deeply she values even the smallest bonds. Suho takes her home, and for the first time, her mother lets him inside to question her properly. When Jiwoo finally takes the stand, the courtroom holds its breath. She testifies that she saw the maid smiling and attacking the victim. But then comes the blow. The defense argues that because of her autism, Jiwoo cannot distinguish facial expressions accurately. They humiliate her in front of everyone, reducing her to not normal, in their words. The judge sides with the defense, ruling her testimony insufficient. The maid walks free. Suho is shaken, but the prosecutor promises to appeal. Strangely, the maid doesn't seem worried. She even mentions going to see her son, though she had previously told Suho she had no family. That inconsistency gnaws at him. He realizes he's been so focused on winning cases that he may have ignored the truth staring him in the face. A letter from his father reminds him why he became a lawyer in the first place, not to chase victories, but to seek justice. At the appeal, Suho changes tactics. First, he demonstrates Ji-woo's abilities. He shows the court her photographic memory and sharp hearing. He asks an officer at the back to whisper his name and rank in the lowest possible voice. No one else hears it, but Ji-woo repeats it perfectly. The court now sees what she's truly capable of. Suho then asks the crucial question: did she hear the maid speaking the night of the murder? Ji-woo nods and, with her perfect memory, recites exactly what was said. The revelation exposes the maid as the real killer, someone who murdered for money. Suho's boss tells him to stop, warning that he's sabotaging their client. But Suho refuses. He declares that lawyers are humans too, with a conscience, and sometimes doing the right thing matters more than protecting a guilty client. His boss explodes with anger, gets thrown out of the court, and Suho stands firm. The trial ends with the prosecutor's victory. The maid is found guilty, and justice is served. Suho knows he's damaged his career, but for once, he feels like he did his job as a true lawyer. He stood on the side of truth, even if it cost him professionally. And on a lighter note, Suho finally decides to face something scarier than the courtroom: his own feelings. He goes to the woman he likes, waits outside her house, and asks her out on a dinner date. And for more thoughtful, suspenseful recaps like this one, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.